What's going on, guys? I wanted to come on today and talk about some ways that I like to beat writer's block. I think that's something that happens to all of us as creatives, whether you call it writer's block or blockage or something, whatever you do in your medium, but it is something that happens quite a bit. So I wanted to come on here and talk about some ways that I combat that maybe will help you. Here we go. Here's my first tip number one. One of the ways that I really like to combat writer's block whenever I'm having it is to get out of the situation that I'm in. So in this case, this is the studio that I work out of here in my house. Sometimes I just get tired of the monotony of it. I have been known to go to places like the library. I'll get a little cubicle there. I'll take my laptop, get some headphones, might have like a little MIDI keyboard with me. I'll take that with me and just sit there and create. It gives something, there's a different ambiance there. Everything has to be quiet, so you can't be making a lot of noise, but it just puts you into a different headspace. You could also try going to a different studio. You could go to a friend's house. Maybe your friend has a studio. If you play an instrument, maybe like a guitar or ukulele, go to a park. Try going to a park, sitting underneath a tree, and just start strumming out some chords. Maybe the wind hitting your face might spark something new that you didn't think about. I've tried all of these. I still use all of these, and they're great ways to kind of get you out of your comfort zone, break the monotony of being in the space that you're in, and really get those creative juices flowing. Tip number two, I like to do these in chunks. So I'll write 3 completely separate things, 5 of those each. So I'll write 5 titles, I'll write 5 verses, and I'll write 5 choruses. None of them connect. They're all separate things. And then I'll sit there and I'll pick and choose. Oh, well, what if I use this chorus with this verse? How does that sound? I don't know. It might have been something different that I didn't even think about before. Another thing you could do with this is, instead of singing lyrics, try humming a melody or try whistling a melody and just see what comes out over that. Tip number 3. Write from the perspective of a different person. Now, obviously, as a musician, a lot of songs are going to be love songs. So what if you put yourself in the position of someone else? Maybe your friend who's going through a really bad breakup, or maybe it's from the perspective of your mom or your dad and being in a situation, something that you are close to, but you might not know exactly how they're feeling, so you put yourself in their shoes. Sometimes changing your perspective can change your perspective on the song and give you some different insights and different creative alleys and flows that you can go down and see what comes out. Tip number 4. This one's a really fun one, and I like to do this a lot. I will try blending different genres and types of music that don't typically go together. So for example, if you're working in a hard EDM, dubstep type of song, what would it sound like if you put an acoustic guitar right in the middle of the verse? I don't know. It could be crazy. What if you took an Afrobeat song and you put a crazy EDM lead line on top of that? I don't know. Could be crazy. So doing things like that can help break again some of the monotony of writing, and tools like Splice are really great for that, because you're working in your session, you're like, I don't know what I necessarily want here. Well, they have so many different samples that you could go put it into your session and just see what it sounds like. Sometimes you'll get some really crazy results that sound really cool. Tip number 5. This one sounds like a really basic one, but it's one that people forget so often. In fact, I'm guilty of this. Stay hydrated. Take a container of water with you whenever you go to a session. I am horrible about remembering to drink water, which is why I have my water sitting here, so it's reminding me that it needs to be drank. But your body needs water and your brain needs water, and creativity is a very energy-rich exercise. So you need to drink more water to make sure that you're staying hydrated so that you're thinking clearly. Sounds stupid, but trust me, it works. Tip number 6. This is a fun one because I'm sure that you guys have all heard the famous quote, write drunk, edit sober. And this is kind of a take on that. Now, I'm not suggesting that you get drunk. In fact, this has nothing to do with drinking, but there's so much pressure that we put on ourselves to write a good song, produce a good song, whatever it is. Take that pressure off of you and just tell yourself, I'm gonna write a horrible song first, or I'm gonna produce a horrible song first, and then do it. And then see what comes out of it, because you're gonna surprise yourself, I promise you. Then, once you have that structure that's there, go back and take passes at it. Say, oh, okay, well, This verse, this could actually be better. I do like this little part here, but let's change this. Or, oh, this chorus is really great, actually. I wouldn't have thought of this normally. But you know what, this needs some changing here. And then take those passes at it, because you are your own worst critic. Nobody else is gonna think quite like you, and that's what makes you unique. So if you can go back and you can edit on those passes and just kind of keep chipping away at that, you're gonna find out that you're gonna have a really great song at the end of it. If you found like any of this information was helpful, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because I have plenty more audio production, music production, songwriting tips coming your way, and I can't wait to share them all with you.